baby.
Hands up, baby. Hands up.
I swear, if a certain quarterback is mentioned in the comments, I got my beers ready. I'm gonna crack it open.
Or is it the Serbian kid?
Serbian kid,
This looks done. Oh my god, it looks fantastic.
I hate you so much. Good beat, man. Not a beat, man. Woo! I'm the man. I said it, and it's reality. All right.
Congratulations.
Welcome to Once Upon a Sun. Dave, already, huh? Already. Like you're back, and I can't give you my introductions without you going.
Listen, that was the longest intro I've ever seen in the history of podcasts. So I almost fell asleep from it. I had to keep myself awake.
Dave, we have to get ourselves ready. Us people that prepare for the show, like we need that to like get the extra prep going on. I know
I'm born ready. Listen, I was born ready. I'm sorry. It's 59-second countdown clock going on. Dave, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
It was, you know what? Thank you.
I'm assuming Josh Wingate's Dirtbag Dave comment wasn't meant for me.
Well, as you can see, he's our resident dirtbag already.
Am I missing comments? I want to see it. I want to see the comments.
Let me get to my introduction, dirtbag. Unless you want to just jam some Skittles in your mouth like old time's sake.
Oh, I can do that. I think I got some. I don't have any here. I got some Starburst.
Boys.
I got some Starburst.
Welcome in to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast. I feel like we're way back in 2019 when we first started hitting our groove, and it was just me and Dirtbag Dave. That's literally our open. Like
back in the good old days.
But we're coming to you live on this beautiful Sunday night. As always, we're presented by the Fins Talk Sports Network. For all of our podcast listeners, please go over to our YouTube page, the Fins Talk Sports Network. Hit that subscribe button. We are at 760 subscribers still. Please help us get to 1,000 subscribers by the NFL draft. When's that draft? April 27th. Come on, it's not too far. 2 months away. We can do that.
We got free agency ahead of us still. So we
have so much stuff coming on the network. Free agency, draft talk. Hit us up. We have Dave Steger here. It's your first time on the fantasy show. Yeah, the other Dave. You can find him on Twitter as well. What's your Twitter handle again, Dave? I love it. Steak and Cheeseburgers or something?
It's at Steak and Cheese. STEGN Cheese.
Love it. You also host a Huddle Up and Wait here on Thursday nights, 8 o'clock.
Yes,
with Fred Legacy. Love that show. So tonight on this show, we're going to be talking about free agency, quarterbacks, wide receivers, kind of our wish list. We do this every single year, because there's always a ton of free agencies, a ton of moves happening. This year's kind of lighter than usual, so it might be a quick show, but I have been prepared, Dave. That's what we do during that 60-minute countdown. All right? That's what we do.
You wait till the last minute?
Countdown?
No.
That's like me.
I'm back in the day. Quick story, and our longtime listeners will love this. We used to show up at Dave's house live with the Roadcaster. Our first year, we had like this little $20 thing.
We had a tiny fake one.
It was terrible, but like whatever. So we all won a bunch of fantasy football leagues that year, and just all chipped in to buy this Roadcaster, and that's how we have it, because we're so awesome at fantasy. But Dave we would show up at his house, and he would always go, "Hey, anyone got a pen? Anyone got a piece of paper?" And he would just start writing down notes.
And guess what? I was always right, usually. Not always, but usually.
This was coming. But yes, I have some trivia. Dave Steger's in the background over there, probably getting some Skittles.
Oh, you know what? I got some trivia for you. For both of y'all. But you do yours first, and then we'll do mine.
So I always
getting a beer.
He's getting a beer. I love beer. Can't drink it. I always do like a who am I, right, Dave? It's like my favorite thing of all time. So I'm going to start this. What I'm going to do is give you guys one clue. You guys get one guess each. And then if you mess it up, we'll move it on to the next one. So my first clue. I average 268 carries a season. That's it. First clue.
That's all we get?
That's all you get. The first one's hard. If you get the first one, what's the point? I have to make it super hard.
Derrick Henry.
Wrong.
I don't know.
So no lifeline, no side questions.
That's all you get. That's all you get for now.
268 carries.
That's what he averages per season.
Devin Cook.
No. All right, my next clue. I've only reached 268 carries one time in 4 seasons.
Well,
Did he have like 5,000 carries the other 1 yard?
Tell
Wait,
me.
so 4 seasons?
You tell me?
Tony Pollard.
No.
No, he hasn't got that many carries.
This year was an uptick, so I could see where.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah,
I've done that.
but he would have had to get a lot to get to 268. If he averages 268,
Hey,
but he's only got to 268 once.
You're not getting the full 60-second countdown, buddy.
No, I'm using all the time. I want the time clock. Start the timer. I want the timer. I was gonna say no, it's not him because he gets too many. Let's just do Austin Eckler. That's not him, but I know he doesn't ever get that many carries.
In the 4 years I've finished, or in the 4 years I play, in the 4 years I finished as a top 12 running back 19 times out of the 59 games I've played.
Hold on, say that again.
Okay, he's played 4 years, right? As a wide running back 1, as in 1 through 12, 19 times. It was a weekly finish out of games played.
So 19 times he's been an RB1 out of his 4 years career.
Yes.
Saquon?
No.
Oh, that's a good guess.
Yeah, because
that's a good guess. Christian McCaffrey.
No. 9 of those games, 9 of those 19 came last year.
Oh, so that's who was it? Yeah,
So we had 10.
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is the winner.
Nailed it. I was like, it had to have been a super stud that was having a super stud year this year, and that was it.
My other clues were I averaged 27 receptions a season. In 2019, I was drafted 24th overall. And my last one, I know that's why I didn't start with that one. And I am rumored to be franchise tagged by the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's when I was going to jump into our first topic of the night. But please, Dave, give me your trivia.
Okay, so I didn't know this until I saw this. I think on Twitter somewhere. You know, there's only 2 running backs over the last 3 seasons to rush for 1,000 yards. Can you name them both?
Wait.
Only 2 running backs have had over 1,000 yards rushing each of the last 3 years.
Is one of them
consecutively?
Oh, I know.
One of them is not Aaron Jones.
I know this.
Nick, there's 2. There's only 2 guys.
Derrick Henry has to be one.
Are you sure?
So in the past 3 years, he's had 2 or consecutive?
3 consecutive, 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Only 2 players have had 3 straight. No one else. There's no other guys.
3 straight consecutive. Oh my God, that's tough. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jonesy I thought he had that.
He had 9 something, I think, a year ago.
Jonesy had the drop off in 21. It was 8.
Yeah.
It was 800 yards because he got injured for a little bit.
Man, I'm totally in
one. I tell you one, you're gonna be like, duh, and the other one, I don't think it's. They're both studs.
One's Joe Mixon.
Nope.
Wow.
Gosh,
I thought Mixon would have been there.
I can't think of like a solid because 1,000 yards isn't that good these days. Like whatever.
I know that's the thing about it. Only 2 guys have had it 3 straight years. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
It's hard to keep these guys healthy.
Is one of them Dalvin?
I know.
Cook?
Yes, one's Dalvin.
Okay,
Cook.
yeah, okay. Viking stuff.
You should have guessed that. That would have been easy. Let me ask you this: is it an AFC or NFC? Just give me
AFC.
AFC. Okay. So we already rolled out Joe Mixon.
I think he's led the league in rushing like 2 out of 3 years or something.
I want to say Henry, but he got hurt that year.
My mind instantly jumps to that too.
But he got hurt that year. And
he's up there though.
It's not Taylor because he just started, and I think he did it this year. Look at us workshopping this together. Can't be Josh Jacobs. That guy's a bum.
Nope.
Yeah, that guy's a straight up bum.
Tell us how you really feel, Josh.
Go back. Yeah, go back when he kneeled down to the 1 and told us he doesn't give a F about our fantasy teams. Ever since then, #1 enemy. I don't care. I hate that guy. Dave, give it to me. I don't know.
Eckler.
Nick Chubb.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
That's
why he's like getting 1,500 yards every year.
Listen,
yeah.
It's not that we don't care about him, but he's at Cleveland, and it just falls.
I know. I was just surprised to see there's only 2 guys had 3 straight years of 1,000 yards. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
There would have been more. I thought there would have been at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, I thought so too, man.
But that just shows you the turnover of running back position.
Yeah, and that's kind of why in fantasy drafts this year you're seeing only like 2 or 3 running backs going in that top 12, or you're seeing it just receiver heavy, just receiver, because they stay healthy, they're on the field, and they're not easily as replaced as running back. I mean, look at someone like Pacheco, came in, replaced whoever, doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter.
Andy Reid system, it's a plug and play for the rest of his life.
I mean, that's just all running back. So, I mean, think of any situation where you're like, no, I'm telling you, any situation you're like, oh, that guy's. Remember 2 years ago when Lev Bell and Latavius Murray were in Baltimore and they were producing like straight up bombs, all of them.
Dude, Latavius Murray. No, Freeman. Was Devontae Freeman had a good year?
Freeman.
Bro, he balled out.
Latavius
Latavius is solid.
Latavius is solid, but what I'm saying is like he wouldn't be. You're like, oh yeah, that guy's a stud. I got to get
I
that
know.
guy. We got
It's
to
crazy.
get that guy.
But
So
so
there-
there, pick up any week, I'll take Latavius all day long.
Oh
every
yeah,
single
if I want
waiver
10
week.
points, if I'm good for 10 points, if I need
There
10
you
fantasy
go.
points,
All I
Latavius
need.
Murray is the guy. Yeah, that used to be David Montgomery for a while, but he broke out because he's a freaking stud.
He's
Anyway.
a fucking bomb. He's the biggest
Fiberglass
bomb.
McGee.
Don't leave my Montgomery alone. You know I love that guy.
You
He's
leave
so
Jacobs
trash.
alone.
We're gonna get the Jacobs.
I
We're gonna-
love Jacobs.
I know. You know what? When I texted you in that tweet, I said you started defending Josh Jacobs. I said, nah, I'm way too. I like this guy too much to destroy him right now. Not gonna do it. Josh Jacobs is rumored to be franchise tag. Makes no sense. Makes, like we just said, running back situations change year in, year out.
Yeah.
I'm not understanding why. And then you said, and this was your comment to me in Twitter on the Twitter DM. He just had his best season in that offense. Why would it doesn't matter?
Yes, because what? One, that means you. First of all, they have a ton of money. I think, don't they? They have like a lot of money, cap room. I think.
They just freed up $40 million from getting rid of Carr.
So what are you going to spend? You're not going to spend the cap probably anyways. You might as well keep a guy that knows the system, run him ragged again, and then get rid of him next year if he's not good. If he's running on the franchise tag, you have no risk. Like if he gets hurt, okay, see you next year. Like who cares?
Do you think Josh Jacobs was the kind of player who's gonna like try super hard for his team, even though
Look what he just did this year.
When
He's
it's
trying to get
not
paid.
here again,
because
yeah.
he
He's
thought
trying to
he
get
was
paid.
So now
he's
he's
going to
doing it
have to
again.
do it again. Yes,
No,
that's how
not-
the franchise tag works.
That's not how I would run. That's not how I would play. my
Then guess
football
what?
game.
You wouldn't get paid.
I would sit out because it's kind of unreal. He just came off of a 16.
Running backs can't sit out. You can't sit out. Zero chance of running back can sit out. Unless you're Christian McCaffrey or Saquon Barkley after his rookie year, you can't sit out.
The
Those
leverage
guys can't afford
now
to sit
in the
out.
CBA can't allow you to do it. There's no
Dude,
leverage.
there's no way.
for players to sit for that. So,
Especially a running back that like has that position. You talked about how easily it is to replace him. So they're gonna find somebody else to come in. They'll sign Latavius Murray. You know what I mean? Like there's just too many guys. So if he can get his whatever it's worth, $10 or $12 million, he's gonna just take it and bust his butt again next year.
Imagine if they drafted someone like Zamir White and they could have used him and they can fill him in there. And
There you go.
can
Maybe
pay
they
him way
replace
cheaper.
him. Maybe he's the replacement. You don't even know.
But they're going to franchise tagging him, which makes me totally insane. I don't know. It's a good.
That's
move
just
for the
because you
Raiders.
guys Zamir White on all your dynasty teams.
yep.
How did you know?
Josh is crying right now because of it.
It is.
See?
It's very hurtful. We had coming into last season. Josh Jacobs played in the Hall of Fame game, so I thought for sure. Like I
think we all did.
I stole Zamir White like this late second round in every fantasy.
You thought you stole him?
I thought I did. But listen to this trade. I traded, our good buddy Adam. I traded him James Cook, and I took James Cook only because he's a huge Bills fan. He'll give you anything for any Bills in fantasy. So I said I want Rashad White and I want Dameon Pierce. I got both those players, and then I said, wait, I don't want Rashad White. Like he's gonna have Fournette there for a little bit. Give me Zamir White. I was wrong.
No, I thought you did get Rashad White.
No, I got him in the front, and then I said, no, give me Zamir instead of
Should've
Rashad.
never
So we
Really?
we swapped. Yeah, we
Oh my
swapped.
God.
Are you sure? You need to look over that.
Yep.
I could have
Oh,
sworn it's Rashad White.
I looked just before this.
Really?
podcast.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Could have
Yes,
sworn it was good
60
too, but all
seconds
right.
of time to research.
I guess he needed it. He needed the extra minute.
So we all think this is a good move for the Raiders, but not so much Josh Jacobs because I do feel sorry for the players that get tagged. I really do. It's kind of unfair. But
No, it's so unfair they get $12 million like that. How will he survive? I just don't know how, in this world that you can
I think
survive
it's
on that
more
kind of
now.
money.
Didn't it jump up more?
Who knows? Like, I don't know. I hope his kids can eat. That's all I care about,
I really hope he gets a second I hope he gets a
Wagyu
prolonged
prime
contract.
choice steak.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are the worst. You guys are literally the worst. I hate Josh Jacobs with a passion. I hope he never plays football again. But even I want him to get a good deal. He told me he doesn't care about me.
Then why do you care about him getting a good deal?
Kimmel brought both of us on here, Dave, to hope we hate each other just because of the teams, and it didn't work out. Now he's like, crap, they both like Josh Kimmel. Damn it.
You guys are the worst. Next up, I saw you comment on this, Dave Steger, on Twitter. The Daniel Jones saga continues as the New York Giants are expecting to sign him to a 4-year, $160 million deal.
Wait, really? I thought he was about to get franchise tagged. That's what I heard.
If it's not done, then they will franchise tag him.
It's either $40 million either way or 38. It's not worth it.
Well, I thought the franchise tag was like 32, which I mean it's not much better, but that's a lot of money.
It's more than
I would make him play on the franchise tag and see how good he is again. Like, I'm sorry, I would not give that guy $40 million a year. In worst case, he balls the fuck out and you give him 45. Like, okay, you lose a little bit, but I don't know. That's risky. I don't know.
My thing,
he looks good
against
the Vikings and in the playoffs, and that was it. Other than that, he was average this year. That's it.
Let me ask you this: with the weapons he had, Richie James, we know all the list of bums. We know them all. Richie James,
Isaiah Hodgins is a beast. So
Isaiah Hodgins, Sterling Shepard, all this stuff. And you look on Steger's team, Aaron Rodgers, who I am in love with Aaron Rodgers. He's one of my favorite players of all time. He didn't do much with his receivers, at all. He's kind of dead in the water. So as a fantasy manager in a super flex or regular, moving forward, isn't this a good deal? Because Daniel Jones did put up good fantasy numbers. He was there to rush him. That's why we're here. We're a fantasy show.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he was good for fantasy. Would you rather have Daniel Jones or Justin Fields?
That's not what we're talking about. That's a totally different situation.
The biggest thing to me of why he did so well was, one, the coach did draw up a hell of a game plan to be able to get receivers open and get him to be able to comfortable. But Saquon, he had a fallback to lean on. And if Saquon's gone next year, I know running backs you can turn over, but I don't know if you could do that type of production with another running back in New York on what Dable had him doing. That's my only issue.
Isn't the deal they're supposed to sign Jones to this massive 4 years, $160 million deal, then franchise Saquon? Doesn't that free up the ability to then franchise Saquon?
But if Jones doesn't sign the deal, they have to use the franchise on Jones and Saquon walks.
Yep. Exactly. So it'd be better for all involved if Jones signs this contract so they can franchise Saquon, and then therefore we're all happy because that's the optimal situation.
Wants. The Giants don't want to give him that.
Jones wants $45 million. I heard. I don't know. I don't know if he's. I don't think he's worth it.
I don't think, even in fantasy terms, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Jones. He had a couple bad streaks last year, and I picked him up when my QB had to sit on the bench, and man, it didn't turn out well. I
mean, think about if you're the Giants and you give him $40 whatever million a year, and next year he's average again. Then you just lost 3 years worth of or you have to keep him for whatever. I feel like the franchise tag is the best case scenario for the Giants. If I was them, I would just say, see you. $32 million is what you're going to get. If you want to hold out, you're going to hold out. That's what you're going to play on for now. I don't know.
And then see if
he's good. You re-sign Saquon.
That's my point.
If you let him go, you have to let him go. I don't know. You try to sign him.
I think I'd rather give my quarterback that big money rather than an aging running back on bad knees and who's very injury prone. We saw Saquon last year. He was explosive, but not every game. He was on and off a lot. He wasn't up to CMC's caliber. He wasn't up to, Austin Eckler's caliber. He's Saquon, but he was only Saquon for about 5 to 6 games. He was great.
No, he was better than that.
Good.
But he
was good, but he would never put up those Eckler CMC numbers on a consistent basis.
It's because he doesn't catch as many balls.
You think he would with that hodgepodge of receivers over there?
I mean, you're right. You would think that, but
I would let Saquon walk and try to sign someone not Kenny Golladay. I know the receiver list is very, very, very bad this year. We're gonna go through that later.
$41 million for what? 43 catches.
I mean, there's some pretty good running backs out there. They can sign one or draft one, I guess. I mean, yeah, you're not going to get Saquon back, but you can replace him. We know that.
I want another year in that offense with Daniel Jones, and I want to see what he can do.
But that's what I'm saying. Do you want to sign him for 4 years, or do you want to give him the franchise tag for 1 year and see how he does, and then give him the big contract if he's good again?
Look,
it's risk and reward.
I'm not a capologist. I don't know how these contracts work. Maybe Steger does, but when does 140 million years mean, or 160 million? When does 160 million mean 160 million? When does that actually mean 160
It's all about the guarantee.
Depends on how much is guaranteed, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
From what I saw, it's 48 or 50 million, but he wants the contract front loaded to meaning where
Of course he does.
Of course.
basically the Kirk Cousins deal, basically to get the guaranteed money there and the signing bonuses each year, so then that way they basically can't get rid of them. And that the Giants don't want to do that. That's the one big issue is the guaranteed money. They don't want to do it.
Right.
So
that's a big issue with all these guys now. They all want guaranteed. Like ever since Watson got all his fully guaranteed, Lamar wants it all guaranteed. Everyone wants it all
he
guaranteed.
says he'll revise his contract to fit other fantasy needs. That's what I was just reading.
There you go.
So,
Love it.
Side note on that, but
Let's go over to the teams, like the quarterback situation, the free agency, and the teams needing a quarterback. I went down and listed a bunch of teams that I think need a quarterback. Let's see if you agree. New York Jets, Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee, Las Vegas, Baltimore if the Baltimore situation doesn't work out, Tampa, New Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta, Washington, Seattle.
Seattle's a iffy.
We don't know where Gino's.
If they keep Gino, they're
Yeah,
fine.
they're in talks with an extension for him, so I'm assuming they're going to keep him.
Yeah, I'm assuming they are too, and I
Yeah.
actually have it on my list. I have everywhere where I want the quarterbacks to go on my list, and I have Seattle with Gino because that's the perfect fit. That's just a perfect fit.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go right into the first top dog right here, Lamar Jackson. That whole situation. Who knows what's happening? Someone get
He's
this
not
man
going
an agent.
nowhere.
Someone get this
He's
man
not going
an agent.
nowhere.
Someone get this man some counsel. Someone get this man like a hand, right? Like who's that guy, the Lannister guy, Dave, that you like, the little guy?
Oh,
He just
Tyrion?
needs- yeah, he just needs someone to tell him, like, don't be a fucking idiot. And here's what we're gonna do. Like, I just feel like he needs that.
You saw Baltimore about the non-exclusive rights where other teams can now trade 2 firsts for him. They're going to put that tag on him, right?
I think they should. I think that's a smart move.
They were going to trade him anyway. That's what it's looking like. They didn't include him in the OC search. Might as well slap the tag on him. Get your 2 firsts like you were gonna. There was the false faux report from Schefter trolling the Barstool guys.
PFT guys, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's going to Washington." Well, sit down thinking about it. It actually makes sense. Like, there's a loaded wide receiver room ready to go, 2 running backs, decent offensive line. Why not?
Yes, please. Yes, and yes. You have some weapons there. You already loaded at running back. I think Antonio Gibson and
Who are they going to
Robinson.
get? Oh, you're talking about Washington? I thought you were talking about Baltimore.
Lamar going to Washington.
Going to Washington.
Yeah, I think that's
Lamar can't throw, so that just ruins the receivers.
Don't say he can't throw.
He won an MVP having 30 passing touchdowns.
Yeah, Dave.
Well, he also ran for like 1,200 yards that year. That's why he won the MVP.
Look,
he had a good year.
Dave, this is a fantasy show, and we're talking about quarterbacks. He has finished. Listen to this.
I'm sure it was top 5 every single year.
Not top 5. He's quarterback 1, 10, 14, and 13 in the last 4 years.
Well, that's terrible.
But his points per game 1, 8, 7, 6. He misses a lot of games. That's the problem. He averages 888 rushing yards a season. That's his average. That's better than a lot of running backs. That alone makes him a top asset. And I feel like he's being disrespected in the fantasy community, especially last year when he wasn't putting up the numbers people wanted. But let's face it, he put up 20 points a game. That's 6th best last year. When he was healthy, he was phenomenal.
With no solid weapons besides Mark Andrews.
And yeah, because Bateman was hurt again most of the year. And that's without Dobbins on the field. Andrews was a shell of himself all season. I feel like Lamar, wherever he goes, it doesn't matter. He's going to be a top asset.
The enemy would love Lamar in Washington. That'd be
for fantasy, he'd be great. Yeah, he just got some good receivers. They can run the ball, or he can run the ball. So no matter, it doesn't. You can put Lamar anywhere. Put him in Indianapolis. Who's gonna run? He's gonna be relevant. Like it's like Justin Fields. Justin Fields is trash. The guy can't throw the ball at all. He ran for 1,200 yards and he gets your fantasy points. That's all you care about. So I don't care where Lamar goes. It doesn't matter to me. I'll still draft him as a top 10 quarterback, probably higher.
I agree. So what do you think, Dave Steger? Do you want him to see him in Washington? Do you want to see him maybe somewhere else? I know there's those. Look, Miami's not happening. I know it's not happening. It just
Bobby's crying in the background right now. Where are you, Bobby? Come on, jump in. I know you want to.
I want Lamar here too, but it's not going to happen.
They just don't have the draft capital to be able to swing that. That's the only reason. But Baltimore, I know, would take some player compensation, but Miami doesn't want to give that up. That's the only problem. And Washington, I can see it, but I just don't. I want to say the Titans, but the Titans just stripped Robert Woods gone, Taylor Lewan gone. Like, I feel like they're ready to kind of hit that implode button without admitting it. So I wouldn't say them. I think Washington would kind of be their best bet being out of conference too. So it makes it easier. So they're not playing him every year in either if it's out of division, still in conference. So yes. I would say Washington.
I just want to throw this out there for funsies, which is super unrealistic. I want to ball in Detroit. Detroit would be the most fun, I believe.
No.
I know, Dave. I know you're afraid. You'd be that, but you see that Michael Vick play again where he's running down the 50 and then those players collapse against each other. And you don't want that.
We don't need that again.
Well, hold on. What if Detroit? What if they did that, man? What if they traded up to go get Bijan Robinson to pair with, and then have Lamar and trade for him as well?
That's scary. That's scary.
I'm just saying.
No one knows. The next guy on my list for quarterbacks is Geno Smith, which we've already kind of spoken about. We do believe he's going back to Seattle. Hopefully they have a ton of more of this Felix Felicis potion. Anyone know? Anyone? Nobody?
No idea what that means.
Nobody? Bobby, do you know what that is?
No one knows what that means.
Well, I don't.
Okay, so if you watch the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter, it's a vial of potion, and it gives you the most luck, and everything goes your way for one day. And it looks like Geno took that every day, because this is by far the best season he's ever had, ever will have. He's never been close to as good as where he was. I just
Benjamin Button of QBs.
I just don't understand. Was it the atmosphere? Was it Pete Carroll? Was it the receivers? Because DK and Lockett were just phenomenal all year.
This happens all the time. Like, guys come out of nowhere, have one amazing season, and they'll go back to being trash. Like, I think
he's had one good postseason.
Yeah, like he had a fucking playoff run. Like, that guy can't get a job again.
Joe Flacco.
So bad. Like,
Joe Flacco.
It's just like I don't know. I mean, I think Flacco was a decent quarterback, but he wasn't that good. Like, he wasn't that playoffs run. But same thing. Like, it happens. I mean, I think Geno's a decent player. I think Seattle's the best place for him to stay because he just knows the system. Everything's you can stay the same. So I think I only got him in a one league. So I hope he stays there.
Kenneth Walker evolve into an animal next year.
Yeah, they'll have Walker probably. DK's still a beast. Geno can scramble a little bit. So it was like the perfect scenario. Hopefully it stays the same.
It was so perfect. The reason why I bring up that luck potion is because he led the league with 41 interceptable passes, 46 danger plays. Like, those led the league. Like, he was super fortunate not to have more interceptions. He was third in deep ball accuracy. That's a lot of DK and Tyler Lockett making plays. Top 10 in air yards, accuracy, passing yards per attempt. So the numbers were there. He was taking the shots. It's just the ball was landing where it needed to land. And he got, I'm not saying lucky, but we've seen quarterbacks or players with all the red flags, and then the next year they're just total ass. That's Geno, and I'm not trusting it. That's a sell high right away. Like, when he signs that contract, I would sell him in Dynasty. Right, I agree. Now.
But think about what are you going to get for Geno Smith? Like, let's be dude. I had him last year. Offered him for second round picks, a second round pick to contending teams, a late second round pick, and he was literally a top 8 or 10 quarterback last year. If you couldn't get anything for him then, what are you going to get for him now?
But the difference then and now is now he'll have confidence from the franchise that gives him a second contract that brings him back in saying we're confident in him. So people will then go, okay, if Pete Carroll in Seattle believes in him as a fantasy manager, that tells me something. Okay, maybe I can now buy him for a second round pick. Whereas last year I was afraid and tempted.
But are you going to trade him for a second round pick? Because I'm not. I'd rather have him. In a super flex league, I'd rather just have Geno. Unless I'm getting 201 or 202. What are you going to do? Am I going to trade him for 211 or 212? No.
The way you acquired Geno Smith was by waivers and by pure luck, so it cost you nothing to obtain him. So therefore, he might be your receiver or your quarterback 4 because you just picked him up for nothing.
Okay, still, again, what are you trading him for? 201? Yes. 208? Probably not.
201 to 206, I'm going to try. And if I have to add a third to get that, I will.
What? No way. What? I'm not adding a third round pick to Geno Smith.
I'm not playing with a guy who just led the league in danger plays and interceptable passes. And
Guess
a guy
what?
who's never been
Just
good in his entire life.
Drop balls don't matter. Neither do you throw a couple of interceptions. As long as he gets my points, that's all I care about.
Well, it's just like the Rodgers sell high factor. It's the same thing. I mean, his highest point right now, you might as well move him.
Yes, he will never be as high as where he'll be at now. Never.
I just don't. I feel like a mid-second round pick for a starting quarterback.
Remember
Is
when
all
you
I
bought
want. That's all I
that
want.
cryptocurrency? What was that? What was that cryptocurrency thing that we were all into? Dogecoin. And
Oh,
we
yeah,
all sold,
Dogecoin.
and you're like,
Dogecoin.
and you're like,
I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
keep
no,
it.
I'm
gonna
holding.
keep
I'm
it.
holding. I think I still have some somewhere.
I sold mine. Like I bought mine that day, and I sold it for
Okay,
like a $300
guess
profit
what?
that day. You kept it, and you lost.
Okay, you're right.
You do that with Gino.
made a little bit of money, and I risked it. What happened if it comes back and I'm making $1 million?
What
You'd be like,
happened?
damn, I should have kept it.
What happened? Hey, what happens if I go buy a lottery ticket? Hey, what happens
Yeah,
if I
you
DM
never
Jennifer
know.
Lopez and ask her for a date? What happens?
Exactly.
Who
You never
knows?
know. You never know.
Jennifer Lopez might actually take it because she switches boyfriends almost every other month. So
She's not my
she
type.
might actually do it.
Moving on, Derek Carr. He's like the last relevant, in my eyes, relevant quarterback on this list. I want him in New Orleans in the worst way, like the worst way.
Why? Why New Orleans?
Why New Orleans? Dave, where do you want?
I
I don't
mean,
want to answer.
I like
I've been talking too
Olave.
much.
I was gonna say
Stanger.
the Jets. I like
Hey.
seeing the Jets.
Can we
Well,
mute-
there's 2
can we
days.
mute
You said
Viking
Dave.
Can we move?
Sorry.
Can we mute Viking Dave?
I actually know it seems like a weird fit, but the talent they have there is where I want them. I think Carolina would make the best sense. You have DJ Moore, you got Terrace Marshall, who I think is going to be used correctly now with Frank Reich because the last coach completely misused almost anybody there. With the running backs, they're not big names, but Chuba Hubbard and Foreman are still viable fantasy guys, and that's going to run off on Carr. I'm not saying he didn't have talent in Las Vegas, but in Carolina, they have somewhat of an offensive line. They didn't have anything in Las Vegas. So I think with Reich being a stable offensive mind, I definitely think it could work. But I think he, in fantasy terms, I think that'd just be a nice place for him to get those above average stats and be consistent, especially in Superflex. You can plug him in as that second QB and just churn out points all year long.
Now, Campbell, rebuttal.
Oh, I'm allowed to talk now? Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you, Joshua. I like the Jets. I mean, think about having Garrett Wilson and the other guy who's a bum nowadays. But I just think the Jets need a good quarterback, or at least somebody that can, isn't terrible.
Tell me you don't believe in Mike White?
I like Mike White, but he's not the answer. I can tell you that. So I don't know. I mean, I think the Saints are okay, but I mean, you got Olave there. Michael Thomas, we know he's a piece of shit, so whatever. I don't know. I don't know.
He hates the Saints. He hates the Saints forever, so don't worry about it.
Listen, I don't hate. I mean, yeah, the Saints. I hate the Saints. You're right, but Michael Thomas is just not good. Like you know what's funny? Oh my God, can we talk about this? I got a trade offer yesterday. Michael Thomas for 1.07.
Was that Marco?
You know. You already know who it was.
Was it Marco?
Yes.
There's no
Please
way.
tell me you sent the middle finger emoji. That's all you got.
No. Actually, listen. Okay, I take that back. I was wrong. It was Alvin Kamara for 1.07.
Was it Marco?
But yes, it was Marco. But I was talking to our buddy Fernie. He said he got an offer from Marco. This is worse. This is so much worse. He got offered Jameson Williams and Michael Thomas for 1.04 and 1.05.
So he thinks.
So he thinks Jameson Williams is worth 1.04 and Michael Thomas is worth 1.05.
They're both using walkers practically. Jameson came in the league injured. Michael Thomas is injured the last 2 years.
This guy's this is our buddy. He's an idiot. But anyways, I don't like Michael Thomas. I told you this last year. Yeah, good old Marco. So I don't know about the Saints. But I also don't know about their coaching staff. I don't even know who the new guy is.
Look,
so I don't know. I don't really know.
Dennis Allen's still their head coach, but the thing is I mean, you still have a solid offensive crew left over from Peyton. They didn't really change much over there. And with the Saints, they got the guy that showed up last year out of nowhere, that Rashid Hasheed.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That guy started balling.
Yes. And Juwan Johnson showed up as a tight end.
Yes.
Finally, in the back half of the season, healthy, and he looked great. But Alvin Kamara's now just got indicted. That's a huge factor. And we don't know what's going on. The video's gotten released now. They're going to probably have the jury before the football season starts. So,
yeah, he'll be suspended.
Look, here's my thing on Alvin
iffy.
Kamara and that whole situation real quick. He was washed last year. we noticed this. Dave, you noticed this Campbell, you noticed this as well. He was washed, man. He wasn't putting up plays. Maybe it was the offense, maybe it was Dalton. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't the same Kamara, so I wasn't really factoring him in any kind of fantasy relevancy this year. He got paid. I'm trying to get rid of him. I have him in like one league left, and I'll take.
You can't trade him. That's the thing.
I'll take 210. I'll take 208. I swear, I'll take anything at this.
Remember when I traded Kamara for Justin Jefferson last year, right before the season?
No, I don't. But I hate
so
you.
Beautiful, so beautiful.
Do you have a horseshoe shoved up your ass?
Was it? Wait, no. It was before the year before. I'm sorry. It was the year before.
Either way.
Yeah, or after his rookie season.
Jefferson after his rookie season, like
yeah.
What?
Yeah,
and I think I got like a second round pick in the deal too.
So okay, you're bragging about your team.
That's why I call you dirtbag Dave.
Yeah, he is the worst. He is the worst. Derek Carr in New Orleans would be perfect for me because I like. Maybe this is totally wrong. Maybe I'm so dumb, but I see Hunter Renfrow running these small routes, doing this little thing. That's Michael Thomas. Thomas can do all that stuff. Then you have the new guy.
No, he can't. He's not shifty like that at all. That's not his style.
No, not shifty like that, but like short routes, like Ackers.
Oh, slant boy, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Slant boy, like these short routes. Catch it, dude.
He's not.
Catch
That's
it
the
and
thing. He can't get separation, dude. Like he's done.
I don't want to be done. I don't want to be done. I never want to be done.
I told you 3 years ago to get rid of Michael Thomas, and you never did. So that's
I never want to. I never will.
He came out and had medical stuff. He actually one of the people that backed up the Ravens players on that because of his medical problems he's still having today. He's probably going to be forced to retire here in the next year or two because no team's going to sign him. It sucks because medical mismanagement. Michael Thomas went through it, but half of it's on him. He was recommended to have surgery 2 years ago, and he waited all offseason to do it right before the season began when he should have done it after the season was over. So he kind of did it to himself.
Stop crushing my dreams. Like,
what
are you going to tell me next? What are you going to tell me next? Like,
he sucks.
I know. Honestly, I'm attached to this player because he helped me.
Because he helped you win like 3 years ago or some shit, so you won't forget about it.
Undefeated. Yeah, something Dave's never done. Never in his life.
Almost.
All right. Close. All right, let's list off these real quarterbacks real quick. Tell me if you're interested in them anywhere. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, he's for sure going to go somewhere.
Okay, tell me where.
Raiders.
Like Tampa.
Okay.
Are they going to keep Trask or some shit? I don't know.
These are going to be fast because we got to go to the receivers. So Carson Wentz.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know.
Somewhere he's not going to start.
Mm-hmm.
Baker.
Same.
Tampa. I think he goes to Tampa.
He's going to go somewhere where he can compete for a job.
I think Tampa too. Brissett.
No, he's a backup.
Yeah.
He could start in Tampa.
Mariota. Lots of guys could start.
He could start in my dude. Kyle Trask is a piece of trash.
Mariota's backup. He's done. I can't stand that. I signed him last year. He's trash.
Yes, good.
I can't stand Mariota.
Same. All right, top wide receiver free agents. Teams needing a wide receiver. These are all the teams I've listed. New England.
Class.
I know it's so bad. New England always needs one. Cleveland could use a second, although Peoples-Jones is okay. Baltimore always needs it. Kansas City has nobody. Las Vegas, I believe they could use someone besides Adams.
They need a wide receiver too opposite of him because Renfro's going to be the slot. They need someone.
Oh, I agree.
Zay Jones. Losing Zay Jones hurt.
Yeah, I agree. Dallas, Giants, Green Bay, Minnesota, Atlanta.
Green Bay.
You guys agree? Can you think of anyone else?
Tennessee.
Everything.
Yeah, I know. Tennessee. I said Tennessee. Did I not say Tennessee?
I don't know.
No, I didn't say Tennessee, but they should be on that list. The number one guy is Jacoby Myers from New England.
Golly, that's the best receiver of free agent.
He's going to be a steal, though, because he was playing with frickin' McCorkle in a power rushing offense. I feel like he's going to be a steal somewhere, because he has the skill set to play inside very nicely.
Yes, I love him. I think he'd be a great number two. We talked about this before. I would love to have him in Minnesota as a number two. Love it.
You guys need to re-sign Thielen. Keep him for another 2 years.
No. He's gone. Or he'll restructure for like nothing.
I'm actually putting Jacoby Myers in Minnesota. That's my dream spot.
That's a good fit.
Yeah,
I would love to have him there. But I don't think we have the money to sign him, honestly. But I would love it.
I said dream. I can dream.
Well, yeah, me too. Trust me, so can
I. Do you think Jacoby Myers could be a 1 somewhere?
On a bad team. I just don't think I think yeah.
Over Burks? You take him over Taylor? Really?
Yes.
You're not a Burks guy?
I was not a
In
Burks
Atlanta.
draft. I'm not a Burks guy coming out after last season. I'm good.
You're not a London guy, Dave? You don't like London?
I think London's good, but I think they could be like the 1A, 1B kind of thing, like until one of them like shows out. You know,
Is
I don't know.
Pitt's 1C?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I mean, I don't know. Pitt's he's a piece
Pitt
of
is
shit
treated
too.
like a
So.
wide receiver there. He's a tight end, but he's treated like a wide
He's treated.
receiver. So
He's treated like he's wearing the invisible cloak from sorry, Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah, can you stop talking about that dumb stuff?
I've been in Hogwarts for 3 weeks now. I can't escape it. The next guy on my list, Juju. Does he go back to
Godly,
Kansas
what a
City?
bum.
Jeez,
Think about where he came from, and after his second year, he had 1,500 yards,
yes.
and he's been just a
I think he
fucking bum
leaves.
ever since.
I think because now Kansas City said they're also open to moving on from McCole Hardman too. And Andy Reid has shown he can take rookie wide receivers and plug and play them, and they got a Super Bowl this year off it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's up with Juju.
Juju's not helping himself by opening his mouth and trying to poke the bear with A.J. Brown on media either. So I feel like Kansas City might be like, okay, he's got himself too much stuff off the field.
Yeah,
I feel the same way about him visiting teams and trying to be signed. Like, oh, that's the guy who's causing trouble. That's the guy who's making TikTok videos or long skits or calling players out like on Valentine's Day. Like, the whole Bradbury situation.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I can see him going somewhere, but not being significant enough to be fantasy relevant. Like, I would never want to roster him anywhere.
yeah.
Send him to Chicago for his career to die.
Oh no, I thought of somewhere worse.
Yes.
I thought of somewhere worse. Send him to
Where?
Dallas.
How can there be somebody worse than
Dallas.
playing with Fields? Because Fields is not good.
Go over there. Be disappointed year in, year out in Dallas. Come so close, Wingate. Just come so close, and just fall short with your shitty quarterback over there.
Such a hater.
I don't know. I just don't think
If Juju went to Dallas, I think he'd actually put up numbers, to be honest. I hate to say it. I think he would.
That's what I'm saying. Go there. That's a good spot. I'm not.
Yeah,
I wasn't
for
joking.
numbers,
That's a good
fantasy,
spot.
yes.
Yeah.
That'd be actually a really good spot.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't joking about it. But seriously, go lose over there because I honestly don't want to see him win another ring. That wasn't nauseating as it was. Robert Woods, he's free, as he said.
He's done.
Robert Trees.
He said he's free.
Yeah, he's free to go fucking start working at McDonald's or somewhere because his NFL career should be over.
They usually sell cars or go play golf. Dave.
You're right. He could be
McDonald's
selling.
isn't a fault for Robert Woods.
He maybe he wants to be a franchise owner. You don't know. You don't know. Maybe he likes it in Tennessee. He wants to stay own a local McDonald's.
I actually have him in a reunion going back to LA for the Rams because McVay's coming back.
Yeah.
Same system. Stafford's coming back. He liked Woods when he was there before he got hurt in training camp. That's what I think. And Kupp's going to be hurt, possibly may miss the season start opener. I don't know. From what I've been reading the reports, right around there. And if they need a veteran guy that knows the system, Woods might come back for cheap.
Let me ask you this about your team, Green Bay. Do they want Rodgers back? Because this is going to correlate to receivers. Do they want to?
Oh, I knew this was going to happen. No, I think from what I'm hearing from last year in offseason, Brad Kudukusta is saying, oh, we want Rodgers back. We need him back. We want to make a Super Bowl run. Now it's, oh, well, we'll see if he's the right fit for what we want to do. And I'm like, that's a complete 180 from what you're answering now. And he keeps talking, whenever Rodgers comes up, it's always, oh, Jordan Love's a capable starter. We can see him starting now. We feel he's ready to play now. So the fact he's bringing up Love, I think they're ready to move on. I think they had those talks in Indy. They know which teams are interested, and the teams that are interested are Miami, Washington, Carolina, and the Jets. Jets are the heavy favorites right now, but I see him being traded. And Tuesday, wait for the answer. Pat McAfee show gave a huge Easter egg bomb on that, saying, hey, big announcement coming on Tuesday. That's Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays on that show. So I think he makes his announcement saying he wants to play, because on the Arbery Marcus podcast, that did not sound like a player that was ready to retire. He still was talking about his love for the game and everything. It just doesn't sound like a player ready to go, I'm ready to hang it up. I think Green Bay wants to see what they have in Love. I don't know what Love's going to be. I want to see it too, because I saw flashes in Philly last year. But Rodgers, I think his days as Green Bay quarterback back are done because it's his 4th year. They ran it back last year, and it was horrid.
It was horrid. All right, we're up against it.
Oh,
We're gonna.
Sorry, didn't mean to spit out a lot. It's a
you're,
whole interweb of crap.
you're good. We're up against it. We're gonna run through these. We're gonna run through these last like 5 or 6 running or receivers, and you tell me both, Dave, which one you would want on your team, because you both need one, and you have to pick one because they all suck. Robert Woods, Nelson Aguilar, DJ Chark, Alan Lazard.
Chark, easily Chark.
Chark would have been number 1. Read those again one more time.
Robert Woods, Nelson Aguilar, DJ Chark, Alan Lazard.
Chark, and then the first one, Woods. I would not mind Woods. Woods has played in LaFleur's offense before, so as a veteran presence, he might be cheaper than Cobb. Then because Cobb probably wants more money to come back, shown because he was the 2nd, I think, or 3rd leading receiver last year in Green Bay. So I'm done with that Rodgers experiment again, and he's a part of it. I'd rather bring in Woods as a guy that can kind of be that veteran leadership in the locker room for these young guys, and Watson and Dobbs.
Nice. Well, hey guys, it's always been fun having you guys on. Dave Steger, you can find him on Twitter again. Steak and Cheeseburger or something. What is it?
Steak and Cheese. STEG and cheese.
Oh boy. And you can find Dave at Viking Dave 18 when he's not banned or whenever he's not. Actually, you're not on Twitter much anymore. You've grown up. You've kind of.
No, you know why? Because I can only deal with these fucking idiot Vikings fans so many times. I'm talking about mock drafts that they're going to get this fucking Anthony Richardson or that Kirk Cousins needs to be fired. What? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, what's your opinion? Real quick, I know we're running out of time. Just wanted to on the Vikings, Kirk Cousins. What do you feel they need to do this year?
Oh boy,
they need to keep Kirk Cousins because he's a stud, and they need to just work on the defense and get a number 2 receiver. That's it.
Okay,
they're not that far off. I mean, they got Brian Flores, so I'm excited for the defense. I don't think Kirk Cousins is like, yeah, I know. I'm excited for that. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I just can't stand all the fucking idiots on Twitter half the time right now, and it's hockey season, so that's what I'm focused on.
Yes. All right, we can find me on Twitter as well, Josh Kimmel OUS. We come to you live every single Sunday night. Tonight was 7 p.m. because there is a wrestling show I'm going to watch at 8. Usually 8 o'clock. So all you podcast listeners, go over to our YouTube channel, the Fins Talk Sports Network. I'm going to link that description or in the description below, and just click it, subscribe. We want 1,000 followers, subscribers by the NFL Draft. That's April 27th. That's plenty of time. Please do that. Like our show, subscribe, hit the alert button so you know when we're coming on. Later tonight on this network at 9:30 Eastern, we are going to have the East 10th Street Boys on tonight. That's with Bobby, I believe with AJ as well. I believe they're talking some Miami Heat, some Miami Dolphins, so stick around for that.
I'm kidding. What?
What? Those are good guys. I like those guys. I mean,
no, I love those guys.
He's right here. He can
Fins down.
He can hear us.
I know he can. Cancel me out, Bobby. I know you want to.
Next week, because next week we are going to be breaking down the tight ends and the running backs. I'll try to find someone. Dave Campbell.
50-50.
All right, 50-50. So we'll be talking about that next week. Peace out, Bobby. Play my music.